people, when they watch your videos and you talk about controlling the fight, it's very not any. There's not many coaches, and if we're honest, that talk about controls. Whenever I've spoke to world level coaches who I've filmed with, who said, oh, it was Barry Robinson that got me thinking about the whole control game. And so they do credit you. They do like, oh yeah, I wasn't really thinking of controls until Barry Robinson, kind of raised it on my awareness. And then as soon as they kind of realized that there was this aspect to striking, they then started to see the connections within their system, whether that's Muay Thai, MMA. Because again, it's a bit of an eye opener, isn't it? It's a bit like rhythm step. When you understand the concept, you start to see it everywhere. What's a control? And then, like with rhythm step, you came up with all these different definitions to describe these different controls that go on. Controlling the foot space, controlling the air, and this drill that we can see on the video here is the wall drills, which is, again, anyone watching your social media and your fight camps will know this is something you get fighters doing to get them to understand again, language, physicality, being physical with hand controls, isn't it?
Very physical, very, very, very physical. It's so interesting. I think like my style, or what I like as a coach has really come full circle for me. And I enjoy a physical style. I just enjoy, and that's mental, that's physical. That could be me changing my height, getting real big. I just enjoy controlling the fight in this sense. And I like it very physical. And I like it uncomfortable. I want guys to return to their corner, and maybe a lot of strikes weren't landed that round, but they go to their coach, am I winning the fight? Because they just don't know. They feel something's not correct. And that's, for me, where I'm at with controls. That's where I'm at with controls. And that could be to the air, to the gloves, to the shoulders, to the body. And I think that's what I'm talking about here. And that's kind of where I'm at now with the controls.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, I'm just going to go to a video on your social media a second, because again, you're really, what I always enjoy about your social media, you're quick to credit someone with some good work. And this was a video of Molly McCann, next gen standout.
Oh, right, great. Oh, you actually watch my videos. That's great.
Of course I do. And I'm actually going up to next gen next week actually to see Paul
Are you
Rimmer.
gonna go see Molly?
Yeah.
Tell Molly, Coach Barry said hello. I got a chance to meet her in Ireland. She'll know who I am. She's good people's.
Yeah, no, I'll be seeing them next week, so I'll pass this on. But again, here, you talk
Right
about
hand,
this control there. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. That's just beautiful. That's beautiful.
And it was a very multi-layered video, this as well, wasn't it? Because it started with a rhythm step when she got up,
Right.
which left her not in a position where she was ready to defend that initial attack from Molly. And then Molly just capitalized on it.
Molly missed the punch there, and then she went right into a control game, which was just so important for her. Like, it really gave her confidence to throw the spinning elbow. I use the word confidence there, and I don't use it lightly. Let me just run. I'm sorry, I'm excited you even played this clip. I just want to watch it again. I never watch my own videos back, guys. I get embarrassed. But this is very, very beautiful. So she throws her right hand, rolls under the hook, right?
Yeah.
So boom, right hand rolls under the hook, right into the control package. Physical, beautiful, two hands. That's just outstanding. Create some space, got to the rhythm step again, and sleepy time. Just an onslaught from there. Look, even a control game after the elbow. You see it?
Yeah. Even a bit of a neutral stance there as well. It's like she kind of like switches her hips to change direction.
You're absolutely right.
And again, when we look at controlling the fight, again, controlling the fight's a funny one as well, because it's not just about the controls. You're introducing people to, the Loach drill, and so it's much more than that in terms of what's in there. But I guess when people see the title, they go, oh, this is the control game that Barry's going on about. And it is part of it, but this volume is so much more than that. And that's where it kind of marked that evolution to, okay, well, if you've been following along now, guys, then you should be at the level now where we're going to make it exciting for you.
Well, I'll tell you something that a lot of people missed out on. Okay. And so this is the first time I actually get to say this on a platform like this, where, guys, controls are not just putting your hands on people. I've said this a million times. Nobody listens to me. This is what control is fun means to me. Unfortunately, when I said control is fun, a lot of people took that to mean only putting your hands on people, but that's not what control is fun means to me. Control is fun means controlling the fight. Period. That could be with your feet, with your hand, with your mind, with your eyes, however you get it done. That's for me, first and foremost, that's my definition of control. That's my definition. Now, within that, you have different departments. You have hand controls, glove controls, ear controls. You have now low drill, because you mentioned low drill, which for me, guys, I just finished coming from the States. What day did I get back to Georgia? It couldn't have been no more than 2 weeks ago, or something like that, or a week and a half ago. And ask the legendary Bo Nickel what's one of the first drills he did. I guarantee he's going to tell you low drill. That's my favorite drill. And guess what I tell people all the time? If you don't have the legs, you get to the fight, you've prepared well, and for some reason you're on your walkout, your legs ain't there. You can't, you want to do go da-da-da, but you can't move. So what base are we going to go to? We got to go to low drill. And with low drill, you can control the fight. And if you guys reference the film studies in that tutorials, you have the ultimate example. The man I named the drill for himself, Nicolino Loach. Watch him control fights with just that movement. And so, sorry, I get excited, guys. But control doesn't just mean arm controls. And I'm finally get to say this. It's like a big relief, as you can see, because I got tired. I got tired of getting pigeonholed into that. No, control is how can I control the entire fight? And I'll give you an example of that. Tony Christodoulou, one of my favorite people in the world, one of my friends and former student. We had a fight in Macau versus Eric Ures, the wrestler from America. He was at the time he was the head coach of Phuket Top Team Wrestling. So we didn't want to get taken down. We did footwork drill on top of footwork drill, and we sprawled over and over again. So what I did was, as soon as we got to Macau, we saw them at the first press conference. I walked up to Eric and his coach. I said, hey, guys, nice to meet you, shook their hands. And I said, listen, it will be an honor to wrestle you. We only trained wrestling for this camp, so it will be an honor. And guess what happened? It was a 3-round MMA fight. He didn't try to take us down at all. And so the last round, when he realized, what the hell am I doing? So control to me is a broad range of things. Don't pigeon yourself into hand controls, because then you're limited. So low drill is a form of control. Controls are a form of control. Neutral stance is a form of control. Da-da-da is a form of control. It's so many different things. If you have reactive mitts in your system and you know that a guy or a girl has a good right hand, you know that I can catch the right hand anytime I want. But if I'm going backwards, I don't want to do. I can stand right here, dare them to throw the right hand, and come back with my right hand. That's reactive mitts. That's all control. So for those of you guys, the control in the fight tutorial, don't skip the low drill. That is my favorite base. My favorite base. It's the most important base to me. And it's a base that if you guys don't have your legs, you're hurt, you're fatigued, that's a base you can go to and still be able to fight at an extremely high level. No cap.
Yeah, and it's one of those drills as well that kind of has crossover with every striking based sport, doesn't it? And you could even argue that it's not just striking based, because actually, from a combat sport point of view, the agility in it would work equally as well for wrestling. Anything there.
Stuart, I was working with this kid, man. First of all, shout out. There's a kid, Daniel. He's a wrestler at Penn State. This kid is a monster. He's like 19-year-old. He's like maybe an inch taller than me. He's like 6'6". And so, you know what he says to me? Because he joined us for a few workouts over there. And he said, man, I could use all of these drills for wrestling. It was one of my proudest moments. Why? Because this guy doesn't come from a striking base. He comes from a wrestling base. And after doing galloping, loesch, da-da-da, the control wall drills, literally his words was, man, coach, I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to show you how I could use these and fuse these into my wrestling. So Stuart just made a really great point, guys. It's not a boxing drill. It's not an MMA drill. It's not a Muay Thai drill. It's not a kickboxing drill. It's not a wrestling drill. It's not a jujitsu drill. All my footwork drills you can use and apply to your sport yesterday.